Yo boys, today I'll be covering what I've been doing with my mod pack Global Frontiers over the past couple of months. The mod pack is about to launch, so is the server, within just a couple of weeks, maybe like a week or two. And basically I want to showcase the gun system that I have created with the help of obviously Timeless and Classics gun mod. And basically what I've done to the mod to change it up, to improve some of the systems, to make it that much more realistic and that much better. So basically, as you can see, you got all of the guns as you regularly do, outside of maybe a couple. I removed the minigun, I removed the grenade launcher, I removed the rocket launcher. Because these guns didn't really work with the rest of the pack, so they weren't able to damage vehicles, for example, and either that or the minigun was just overpowered, to be honest. So as you can see, basically we got basically all of the guns outside of that, and as you can see, the recipes have changed. They are pretty drastically different. So as you can see, you need a spring for this CZ75, you need a steel grip, you need mechanical steel components, and you need some steel plates. And the same goes for basically every single gun. Different guns need different amounts, and some guns need, for example, gold for the Golden Eagle, gold for the Timeless 50, and so on and so forth. Most of these are very similar, but they require different amounts of, especially the components and stuff like that, depending on their strength. And some of these that have wood in them, like the shotguns, require wood and a wooden grip instead of a steel grip. And eventually, when you get into the higher tiers of weapons, you're gonna need, as you can see, this, which is a high carbon steel ingot, which is a endgame material that is pretty hard to get. You need out of a big industry, a pretty advanced industry. So I think only bigger societies in the game. This is meant to be a civilization server, by the way. That's much more realistic than any single one that a vanilla Minecraft can't be. It can't simulate. Vanilla Minecraft can simulate society very well because it is simply way too easy. So what I've done is made it a lot more realistic. I made it so there's so many things you can do that you can pick your own profession, and plus everything is harder. Survival is harder. You need more food. You need more. You need to take care of your nutrition and stuff like this as well. So and thirst and temperature and stuff like this. So it's a lot more complicated. So that's what I've been going for, and that's what I wanted to do with the guns as well. Now if I go to, like, let's take a AKM. So you need some woods to make this. You need treated wood planks, which you get with a creosote, which you get from the Coke Oven, from Immersive Engineering. Okay? So even that could be a bit complex for some people who aren't familiar. The wooden grip is basically the same, copper nugget, as you can see. And then you need a spring, which is some steel nuggets, and a metal tube, which is made with steel plates, which are made with a hammer and a steel ingot. Obviously the steel ingot is made in the blast furnace with Immersive Engineering. And the steel plates I already said, and the steel mechanical components is just a bunch of steel plates with a copper ingot, and it can be made cheaper through the engineer's workbench as well. So that's the AKM. Now if I shoot this a little bit, so you might also notice the sound. I'm not sure if it's gonna be noticeable through the video. I have a couple of sound mods to improve all of this stuff, and that really adds to the immersion. It really does. And as you can see here, you can notice that there's a durability for these weapons now. That's because I added a durability mod for Timeless and Classics. And what I've also done is So since there's durability, you need to be able to, there needs to be a reason for it to be there. Obviously, I don't want a person to be able to craft a gun and then keep that gun forever without having to maintain it and maybe even upgrade it, repair it, whatever, right? Or even like scrap it or something. So once this gets low enough, what's gonna start happening is the gun, sorry I don't have an example, but the gun's gonna be running slower and slower, it's gonna be shooting slower and slower, be less accurate, even do less damage, I believe. Now if I look at diagrams, it would show over here the red bar, but it doesn't because I just haven't done enough damage to it. But if I did, you would be able to see that. In fact, I might shoot a bit so you guys can see that. Okay, so I just shot the gun a bit more. In total I fired 197 bullets. It has 1000 durability by default. I didn't really change that, I didn't want to, I think it fits pretty well. I think 1000 bullets in this server is gonna be quite a lot, especially because the bullets are gonna be a bit more on the expensive side, just so people are more inclined to work together, because otherwise this will just be a war server, let's be honest. But as you can see, 197 damage. As you can see, there's some damage to the gun. It's getting slightly worse. It's only 200 damage, so it's just a tiny little bit. ADS, I'm not sure what that is. There's a bit less damage on the gun, bit less AP ratio, more vertical and horizontal recoil as well. So over time, this is gonna be worse and worse and slower and do less and less damage, and by the end when you have like 0 or like 10-15 durability, the gun is gonna be practically useless at that point. It's not gonna be completely useless, but it's gonna be very ineffective. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to repair it. That's one of your options. So you're gonna want to repair it with steel mechanical components in most cases. And what that's gonna do is you're gonna need 16 of these to repair it to the full durability. Now, the way I said that was based on how many steel mechanical components it needed to be crafted. So now you have to, what would you call it? The investment for repairing the gun is a bit lower. So you don't need all the wood, you don't need the grip, you don't need the spring, you don't need the steel plates. All you need is the steel mechanical components. So it's a better idea to repair the gun, if you can, with an anvil if you have that, rather than letting it break and crafting a new one. So that's what I wanted to do with that. But if you got a gun and you don't want that gun anymore because it's garbage and you just wanted to try it out but you didn't like it, then we've got a beautiful thing here called the scrapping table. Now you got the scrapping table here. It doesn't really return all that much, but if I click P over here, sorry I got my keybind still wrong, and you hit it with this hammer, I think it will break the table here. Yeah, it will, because I'm in creative. I'm probably gonna be freezing here, not yet, but since we are at like very low altitude, I will be freezing, so it is what it is. But basically you hit the gun a couple of times with this scrapping hammer, and boom, you will get 25 to 35% of the materials back. So this isn't that crazy of a return, but it is something still. It still is something, and especially if you were to, let's say, invade somebody and you take all their weapons and they're shitty weapons you don't want to use, you can scrap them and get free resources basically. So that's beautiful. I will try to still increase the return on the guns, especially. So the scrapping table can be used for more than guns, but for the guns especially, I'd like to make the return higher, maybe like 50%. If I can, I definitely will, so this can be more viable. but that saved you a bunch of steel and copper and treated wood as well. So that's always worth to do. And obviously the higher the durability is, the better the return. So if the durability is very low, then you're gonna get barely anything. Okay, moving on. That's kind of it with the machinery here, with the repairing, with the stuff like that. I'm gonna take another gun so I can show you guys some more guns. Let's take the Scar. Everybody loves the Scar. So gonna reload it. There we go. Beautiful gun, amazing gun. It uses, you can see here by the way, it uses 556 times X45mm bullets. Now with the bullets, I'm gonna go into the bullets. Yeah, sure. Bullets first. I'm gonna have to remove these. This is my fault, because I removed the ammo. I didn't want it in the game, but it stayed with a shitty texture, with no texture. So I'm gonna remove that, do something about that. But as you can see, regularly the crafting of TACZ bullets is just copper and gunpowder and maybe something else. What I made here is you need a casing, you need gunpowder. These aren't full gunpowders. This is a pinch of gunpowder, which is 1/4 of a gunpowder. So this is half a gunpowder because there's 2 of them. Plus you need a lead nugget, because bullets are made out of lead. And the casing you need and the amount of gunpowder and lead you need depends on the bullet. So if you go to 9mm, this is 10 bullets. So you try to find, the interface here is, I wish you could pick between 1 and 10, but you cannot, because that's just how the mod works. But this only needs 1 gunpowder pinch. And this needs 2, and it also needs 2 nuggets, which is the 12 gauge, by the way. And you need a empty shell here. And if you were to go over here, you need a rifle casing. Right, so that's beautiful. And for something like the Magnum, more gunpowder, as you can see, it's a stronger bullet than a 9mm, for example. And the 338 is considered a sniper bullet. And if you go and find like the most expensive bullet, the 50 BMG, you can see it takes 1 sniper casing and 3 pinches of gunpowder and 3 nuggets of lead. So the more expensive the bullet, the stronger the bullet, the more expensive the bullet. So that's how it works. So for example, these bullets, the 556 times 45. Let's try to find them. 556. Let's see. Here we go. You only need 1 of each, but you need a rifle casing. Now the casings, as you can see, this is gonna be, these are all the mods. These are all the items I added. Here's the 3 casings that are in the mod pack. The small bullet casing, okay? So this is just a copper nugget and a copper plate, and you get 4 small bullet casings. Pretty cheap. It's a 1 copper basically for 4 bullets, 4 casings. This is a little more than 1. It's like 1.3 or something. It's not 2, it's a bit more. Like 1.3 copper for 3 rifle bullet casings, so a bit more expensive. And the sniper is the same recipe, but instead of 3 you get 2. Okay? So it's more expensive, more copper is gonna be needed. And with the pinch of gunpowder, I'm gonna show you guys that also. So the pinch of gunpowder, as you can see, it is 1/4 of gunpowder, and it can craft gunpowder as well. These are all my recipes, this is mine. So are the casings and so on. And these are also, it's my, I changed so many recipes in this mod pack, man. It is crazy. But each bullet you fire, or let's say you fire like 4 bullets, that's like a single copper, a single gunpowder, and half a lead ingot. So it's not particularly cheap, but it's not even that expensive. You might think like, gunpowder, man, how am I gonna get so much gunpowder? I got you covered, man. So you can make gunpowder now in a simple way with charcoal and flint, which flint is farmable in this mod pack through the cutting board with a shovel. You will never lose the gravel, and you will just gain. You have a 10% chance of gaining flint. So you can just keep doing this. It will take some time. It's not particularly efficient, but it will get you the flint. And with some charcoal, you can make a good amount of gunpowder. And this is just a gunpowder crate for storage. And when you get a better industry, what you can do is take one charcoal, one sulfur dust, which you can get from refining diesel or kerosene. As a byproduct, you will get sulfur dust, so it's basically free. And you can also get nitrate dust through basically crushing sandstone in a crusher to get sand. Okay, so it's not completely free, but it's pretty damn cheap. And you will get nitrate dust. Now, how do you get sandstone? Well, you need sand. How do you get so much sand? You can get sand from either gravel or more sandstone, I guess. You can get it from gravel, and you can get gravel from just crushing stone. So you're never gonna have a shortage of gravel, of sand. So many resources here are, how do you call it? They just regenerate themselves. There's not gonna be a lack of simple raw resources in this mod pack. I can tell you that much. Now there's also one more thing that I want to show you, which is, let's see. You can also use slag gravel, and slag gravel is made from slag in the crusher, and you can get that from making steel in the blast furnace. So it's all interconnected beautifully, as you can see. Okay, boys, that's the bullets. Really beautiful system. I'm so proud of it. And so as you can see, you can scrap guns, you can repair guns. They take durability damage, they get damaged and become less effective over time. And another last thing is gonna be the attachments. As you can see, steel plates, steel mechanical components, some amethyst, stuff like this, for basically all of these. So they're not too complex. Most of them are very simple. You can't be very creative with most of these. What I try to do with these ones, the ammo extended magazines, right? I try to make it so they have like tiers. So the first one only requires iron plates and iron components. The next one requires steel plates and steel components. And the third one is gonna need steel plates and high carbon steel. I wanted to make it all steel, but that would be extremely expensive. So, because the high carbon steel isn't easy to get, especially not until you have like a sprawling oil industry and a bunch of steel as well, of course. So yeah, that's basically this. It's not too complex, it's pretty simple. They also do take durability damage, so you can repair them also. If I take this one, I check this, as you can see, 3 steel mechanical components to repair it fully. This is the recipe, the base recipe for the scope. So boys, as you can see, I mean, I am super proud of this part of the mod pack especially, because there's so many features surrounding the guns that are gonna make it so amazing. It's gonna make the guns fairly expensive, so people don't grief, and it's gonna make the ammo fairly expensive so people don't fight each other all the time. I wanted war to be expensive because I want people to work together. That's another reason why, well, that's the reason why I also made it more difficult to survive. So people have an incentive to work together, because I want civilizations. I don't want chaos, I don't want constant war. If there's war, I want it to be over some kind of strategic objective, like a highway or a train station or a oil field or something like this, some kind of city maybe. So that's what I want, my bad boys. So that's what I want. That's what I wanted to do, and I think it's come to fruition very nicely. So boys, that's gonna be it for this video. If you guys want to join the server, it's gonna be up within about a week or two. So feel free to join the Discord in the description as well as in the comments, and I'll see you guys there.